follow through, because as you know, I was elected in 2019, and what followed in 2020? COVID. COVID became paramount. It was, how do we keep people safe? How do we keep people employed? How do we keep our visitors safe? What is it? It was likened to building the plane while flying it, because none of us here had seen a pandemic before. So it was a tremendous amount of responsibility. There was no time to try and adjust our form of government. We had to deal with what we were facing at the time. After making it through that, we had budget constraints. And so we were unable to move forward at that time. So fast forward to today. As I mentioned, the bill had been worked on last year, over a year ago, completed with our attorney, the legislative attorney, submitted, they went into session, and that did work. It was submitted to the Georgia legislature. The bill has been through both sides of the House and will be signed by the governor. So we will soon transition, not very, very soon, the bill hasn't been signed yet, but we will soon transition to a manager-council form of government, allowing for a city manager. And that city manager, as I full well know and have wanted to do since I first became elected, will provide us with expert administrative leadership, improving our efficiencies and allowing us, the elected, to focus on policy making, because that is what we should be doing and not being concerned about day to day. And because of that work, we are entering this year stronger, more stable, and optimistic about what lies ahead. As you can see, with facing the challenges, one of the top things on there, which still holds true and has held true for quite a while, we are debt-free. Interesting, because even facing what we faced and going through what we've gone through, we are still debt-free. So we haven't done all things bad, and I think we've done a good job at yet holding on. Last year certainly tested us, but the people of Austell have never been defined by the challenges we face. We are defined by how we rise to meet them. And today, Austell is rising. And I am proud to say that the state of the city in Austell is strong and moving forward. So please, if you will, give your attention to our council members, beginning with Council Member Derek Cafe of Ward 1.
All right. Well, thank you, Mayor. I have a tendency to ramble, and I know we got a time limit, so I wrote it all down. Thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity to speak this evening, and thank you to everyone here who continues to invest your time and energy into the city of Austell. For those who may not know me, my name is Derek Cafe, and I have the privilege of serving as your Ward 1 council member. While I've officially been on council for less than 90 days, my involvement with this city goes back to 2015 when I first moved here. I purchased my first home and investment property, a duplex in the historic Clarkdale Mill Village, originally built by the owners of the thread mill that the city is located in today. Since then, I've served on steering committees for every major planning document the city has adopted since 2017. I've also personally invested in downtown Austell, particularly in the Union Square neighborhood, where I've worked with my neighbors to help bring new growth and development to our city. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to work alongside many of my current colleagues on initiatives that are now beginning to take shape. That includes such things as the Austell Powder Springs Road Multi-Use Trail, downtown revitalization, potential redevelopment of the Thread Mill complex, and a more inclusionary zoning policy. Professionally, I'm a real estate developer, dually licensed as a general contractor and a commercial real estate broker. My work centers around how communities grow, how projects get built, and how we create places people are proud to call home. Ward 1 is unique. It is the only ward in Austell that spans both Cobb and Douglas County. That presents a real opportunity not just for growth, but for collaboration across county lines. Since taking office, I've already begun building relationships in Douglas County, including connecting with the mayor of Douglasville, who is a fellow native of Youngstown, Ohio, my hometown, also a fellow military veteran. I look forward to continuing these conversations with Douglas County leadership to ensure Ward 1 is positioned for long-term success, in addition to our relationship with Cobb County. Now, when we talk about what's happening on the ground, there are several developments worth highlighting in Ward 1. Stonebrook subdivision is moving into phase 3, bringing 58 new single-family homes to the area. We are also anticipating the return of the Causey Road mixed-use development, which was previously stalled due to legal matters. When that project moves forward, it has the potential to deliver approximately 100 townhomes, 84 single-family homes, and 280 Class A apartment units, and over 10,000 square feet of commercial retail space. This will be a transformative project for Ward 1 and for the city as a whole. And on a smaller but equally important scale, we have a Habitat for Humanity project on Bowden Street. That will bring between 3 to 6 new single-family homes, creating opportunities for home ownership and long-term stability for families in our community. As we continue to see this level of growth, I want to be very clear about something. Growth alone is not the goal. How we grow matters, and we must never lose sight of why we pursue growth, which is to improve the lives of the men, women, and children who call Austell home. That is why, in collaboration with my colleagues, I'm focused on introducing policies that not only protect our legacy residents, but also ensure they can participate in the economic growth happening around them. That includes exploring tools such as tax relief programs for longtime homeowners, tenant protections, potentially community land trusts for affordable home ownership, and inclusionary zoning that helps guarantee affordable units in new development. We are also looking at ways to support and protect small businesses and potentially track displacements and keep strong lines of communication between the community and council. Because when we listen, we can tailor solutions that actually fit Austell. And so my commitment is simple: to work with my colleagues to put policies in place that protect our legacy residents and businesses, those who've built this community and deserve to remain part of its future. At the same time, we must remain open to new residents and businesses who also want the opportunity to call Austell home. In both cases, we must ensure that development creates opportunity within our community by encouraging developers to work with local business, local contractors, and local entrepreneurs so that the economic benefit stays right here in Austell. Development should not happen to our community, it should happen with our community. I'm excited about where Ward 1 is headed, and I'm committed to making sure we move forward in a way that is balanced, inclusive, and sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Cafe. As he mentioned, he has recently joined this council, and we greatly appreciate him and his area of expertise that he brings to the council. Next will be Council Member Devon Myrick / Mayor Pro Tem over Ward 2.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Devon Myrick, Council Member of Ward 2, and honored to be appointed as Mayor Pro Tem. Tonight, I'm gonna shed a little light on our new department that just came about in November 2025. That's our Parks and Recs department. We have drafted the Master Parks Plan, and it has been completed, and we are starting to receive drawings that will help us reimagine our parks and implement things that were selected by you, our citizens, in our park survey. We also, last Friday, had a ribbon cutting for our brand new basketball court that's on Austell Powder Springs Road, and it's open for you all to enjoy. As well as our downtown park for Jefferson Street. It's set to be completed in June, weather permitting. The roadways, parking lots, and sidewalks will be back fully operational, weather permitting, by the second week of May. We're actively seeking diverse funding, grant opportunities to help fast-track plans like the one at Legion Park that will bring more sports courts, sports fields, and a quality trail to the park. The Parks Committee is also over events for the city. This year we have a couple events that's already been scheduled. Upcoming events will be the Mayor's 5K, our Juneteenth celebration, Blues and Brews, Trunk or Treat, Veterans Day, and the tree lighting. These programs have been on our calendar this year, that has already been on our calendar for this year is the Valentine's Day dance. The farmers market will be starting off 5/9 through October 17th. And we have a sports clinic that will be coming this summer. It will be a soccer camp, which will be 4/7 through 4/9. If you would, please sign your kids up. Let them come out and enjoy us. In closing, I would like to say, I remain committed to working alongside Mayor Ollie Clemens and this council to strengthen our neighborhoods, support health and wellness, support economic opportunities, and build a safer Austell for us all. Love y'all.
Thank you, Councilman Myrick. Next, we will hear from our council member over Ward 3 in the person of Councilwoman Chandra Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I first and foremost want to thank Pastor Lewis and First Lady Lewis for allowing us to gather in this space this evening. When I think about the name of your church, Beacon of Light, it is a metaphor. It is a metaphor for hope, for a person, place, or thing that incites hope, inspiration, and guidance. And so I think it is very befitting for us to be gathering in the Beacon of Light this evening to have our state of the city, because that is a direction that we all are looking forward to moving here in the city of Austell. And so my name is Chandra Williams. As Mayor said, I am City Council Member Ward 3, and I want to thank everyone who supported my campaign and all the constituents that have reached out since. My campaign pretty much was plain and simple. It was boots on the ground. I felt it necessary to get out, to knock on doors, and to talk to the citizens of Austell. In doing so, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the history of Austell. I learned about what the citizens love about the city, and also some things that they were concerned about. So for me, my commitment is plain and simple. I want to get the job done. we have to show up. We have to show up as citizens first and foremost. We have to show up as business owners. We have to show up as council to support our community. It is essential if we want to move forward. We talk about what we want to do, but we got to do what we want to do. We have to be that example. And so I'm excited about some of the things that have taken place over the last couple of years. I served on planning and zoning last year and had the opportunity to see many people come before planning and zoning who were excited about bringing their businesses, bringing their communities here to the city of Austell. And so I'm excited about what is happening right now. So I'll go a little backwards with what's happening in Ward 3. Before I do so, I do want to say, as a business owner in the city of Austell for over 18 years, I too, much like Councilman Cafe, have invested in Austell. I not only own a child care center, but I also own other property that I've invested in this city. So I want to see the city move forward. I've had the opportunity to work with several families in education, and I know how important it is for us to come together and make sure that our city is thriving. We need to make sure education is important. We talk about downtown, we talk about all the things, the taxes, but most importantly, we need to focus on those things that really help us thrive, and education is one. When, as a realtor, and that's another thing that Councilman Cafe and I have in common, when I'm out with clients and they're looking to move their families different places, one of the first things they want to know is how is the education system? They want to know, how are the communities connected? Are there parks? You know, what does it look like there? And so I want to proudly be able to say, you need to come over to Austell because we have wonderful green space. We have wonderful schools and child care centers, and we are a connected community all working together for the good. So I will mention a few things that are happening right now in Ward 3. On Clay Road, there's an annexation in Ward 3 where we will have approximately 106 townhomes. There's also approximately 129 single-family homes off of Old West Side Drive that will start to develop soon. In addition to that, as mentioned, we do have the anticipated basketball park, state-of-the-art basketball park, may I say, that's across from Legion Field. On my way here, many children out there playing. It was a joy to see that it is truly being enjoyed by the citizens. And so I want to thank the Park and Recs Department for moving forward and making sure that that came into fruition. And it is an awesome place. Again, on Friday, I was able to be out there at the ribbon cutting, seeing South Cobb High School come over and participate, being invited by the city to do so, and they were very excited as well. So along with the park, there's also a new ice cream and coffee shop that's coming up in Ward 3 on Broad Street. So I like to encourage everyone to get out and to support the small businesses. They are the backbones of our community. We want to make sure that they stay on Broad Street. There are many businesses in Ward 3 that you can go out and support. And so, you know, we want to keep our city thriving, and so we need to support those businesses. Just an overview, a few things that have been written so that I can share with you. Councilman Cafe, you talked about how unique Ward 1 was, okay? But Ward 3, basically, it includes the downtown historic core influence of our city. And so that is an area that we definitely need to develop. We want to have walkability. We want to be able to connect the city. The park that is coming, hopefully that will be in existence in June, will help us be able to highlight the businesses that are there and the buildings that are not being used. Hopefully we can have investors come in and invest in our city. I know that there is interest, but we definitely need to start developing our downtown area, and I'm excited about that. So it is, too, a unique part of the city of Austell. It holds a lot of historic identity and charm, in which I know many citizens want to preserve, and I believe that we do need to preserve that history of our city and the charm that it has. We would like to create gathering spaces, and again, we will have that gathering space coming really soon in June. where we're able to come down to the park and support the small businesses around the park. We are hoping to have some redevelopment and focus on some areas in close proximity where we have walkable trails, walkability, and create some density in our downtown area that will help us to reduce infrastructure needs. So that is what we're looking to do, and those are some of our key strengths. Now, some of the challenges that we do face, we need to have some downtown reinvestment. Of course, we want to make sure our parks and that we do have walkability. One of the things that I did recognize on yesterday, I had the pleasure of going out with our code enforcement department. And I was able to go through Ward 3, and we were able to identify some underutilized properties, some of which they've already started to work with those property owners, and some I pointed out that they're gonna start looking into. Again, it's about collaboration here. And so the challenges that we face, we do have great city staff that have identified what those issues are, and we're here to support them as our experts, to support their findings so that we can create a better downtown Austell. And so, again, my main focus, along with the council and mayor, I know, is to move the needle just a little bit more. And so I would encourage you to go back and tell your neighbors, please, when we have events such as this, we need for people to come out. We need for people to be aware. City council meetings to show up and come out to the meetings and to the events that are planned. That is that we can be strong in numbers to really try to propel and move our city forward. And I am open to conversations. My information is posted on the website. I've recently gone to talk to a lot of HOA presidents just to have conversations, to listen, to learn, and to see how I can help propel our city forward. So I'm excited, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Williams. We are, as she mentioned, she too has recently joined the council, and we are more than excited to have her leadership, and her expertise to be a part of this elected body as well. So next we will hear from Council Member Sandra Leverett of Ward 4.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. My name is Sandra Leverett, Ward 4. And my thing is, we have so much going on in this city, and we need everyone to get involved with everything that's going on in the city. The overview of my ward is, I'll bring this top up first because I know that a lot of homeowners, they are bringing my phone off the hook, inquiring about the Georgia Power. They putting up AI transmission pole. They are looking to put up, they have like 10 or 15 up now, but they looking to put up like 2 or 3 more. So right now, it's not, all of them are installed, but they are not ready for them to get the lights and everything on. So once they install the other 2 or 3, then that's when they would test the sound of the lights and the A1 AI transmission pole. So a lot of homeowners, they are saying, when will they be finished? I spoke to the area manager, and he stated it will be determined when they will have all of them put up. So just stand by, and I'll keep in close contact with him about the AI transmission pole. And the overview of my ward pretty much is the key strength is we have access to Interstate 20 and 285, home to the major logistic activity, Norfolk Southern Terminal. And the challenge that we are having is the truck traffic and the road wear. And that's on Humphrey Hill Road, on Austell Road, just the traffic of the 18-wheeler coming and with the roads wear. And the buffering and industrial use from residential area, and also with the public safety, that's the traffic safety. And I know on Humphrey Hill Road and C.H. James, it's a nightmare, and I live close. At night, every night is an accident. And I applaud the police department because I know they be there 24/7 because it is a nightmare. And also we have the economic development, that's the major employment hub, the opportunity for us to hire new people, and we have a job open. So you can go on to austellga.gov and apply for those positions. And we also, on West Side Drive, we have 70 single-family homes that is coming. So that's a plus for us. Because in order for us to bring business to our downtown area, we need citizens, we need people in those homes when we build them. So I am so excited about that. And we also have the parks and the quality of life. One thing, we sent out a survey for the naming of the park. Hopefully we can get a good name that will help the city of Austell so the citizen can come and join that park with the new name. And our big opportunity project is the road improvement. We definitely need to improve our roads. And besides that, we have a restaurant door in the box. I'm the one big like Jane Brown to bring them to our city. And they was when the husband wasn't really sold on it. So when the wife came and saw the building, and she was sold. So we have door in the box. They've been in business for 10 years. She's not very happy due to we doing construction for the new park. I went out to visit with her and told her, just hold on. Don't move. She said, I'm gonna close. I told her, do not close. It coming, just give it time. And I had the code enforcement guy to go there with me to speak with her. And also we have the Seneca Coffee Shop. And go there, eat their food, and they have a second location. And that's a good thing. They have a second location. Congratulations. And with that being said, the thing about with the council, communication, transparency. And with the citizen, we need communication. If there's anything that you all have a problem with, just reach out to me. Just reach out to me. My information is on the website. If you don't have my business card, I can give you that after this meeting, because we need to be able to communicate with our council members and also let us know what's going on. Because if we don't know, we won't be able to assist you. So we need a city or community or communication. We need to be able to communicate with each other. And what you see on the Facebook, just come to that person, because sometimes the Facebook have their own information. And that'll get everybody bent up out of shape, because everything is not true on Facebook. Go to the source, and I'm here for you. If you need anything, just come to me, and I will let you know whether, if I can't help you, I can go to one of my council members, and they will help. So with that being said, other than that, we need to communicate more, stick together, and this will be a better city, okay? And we need to move forward, not backwards. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Leverett. I love moving forward and not backwards. Now, some of you may have entered after we began, and what we were trying to do was give you an opportunity, and we will extend that opportunity again right now. if you have a question that we will give you an index card and a pen, just raise your hand and we will certainly answer that. Now, we're going to be good neighbors. And what I mean by that is our host has allowed us the use of the church. We communicated with them and we said we will not belabor that and stress our host out. So our plan was to be here from 6:30 to 8. We will hold fast to that because we are not going to extend our stay. We want to be invited again. So we want to make sure that we're a good host. But I do want for everyone to have the opportunity and to know that if we do not get the opportunity to answer a question that you may have submitted or that you may have on mind tonight, please feel free to ask any one of us before, at the end of this meeting. Reach back out to us after the fact. If we didn't get to a question that you submitted, which we're going to go to in just a bit, we will certainly make sure that we provide an answer to that question. And so, as I mentioned earlier, that auspicious group of Austell family over to my right, they're here to assist because they are the subject matter experts. So they, too, will also be able to answer your questions. There is representation over there from every department in the city. And we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to find out what it is that you are concerned about and any of your desires that you may have. Just understand that we are certainly a city experiencing momentum. Across our region, cities like Powder Springs, Smyrna, Mableton, and Douglasville are competing for residents, businesses, and investment. And here in Austell, we are seeing real momentum. Today, our city is home to approximately 8,446 residents. And since the 2020 census, our population has grown by 7.73%. That growth reflects something important. People are discovering what Austell residents have known for generations. This is a community where opportunity meets affordability, and neighbors still know each other. Our proximity to Atlanta makes Austell an ideal place for families who want both opportunity and community. That recognition is even happening on a national level. Last year, Southern Living named Austell one of the South's most underrated destinations for affordable housing in 2025. That says a lot about our city here in Austell, and we're excited about that. For many years, Austell may have been one of the region's best kept secrets, but today the secret is out. And we're looking forward to be able to provide that level of service that accommodates new residents, existing residents, and those that might even be potentially just coming through for a visit. As has been mentioned by our council, we do have a new Austell Town Green Park coming up downtown on Jefferson Street. That is going to be an awesome development. It's going to lift up the city. It's going to be a destination. All of the businesses, not just right there, but all of the businesses and all of us in the city are going to experience how that transformative project is going to make the city better for us. We're excited about that. We're excited about, as you heard, our state-of-the-art basketball court that we just opened the other day. As Councilmember Williams said, I rode by there also on the way here. Oh, it was full of kids, and I was so excited because we just opened it up. People want good quality of life things. That corridor on Austell Powder Springs Road is slated and already has been, the engineering is underway, much of it has been done for a multi-use sidewalk trail that's going to extend from downtown Austell into downtown Powder Springs. Now, that's a joint SPLOST project with Austell, Powder Springs, and Cobb County. A good bit of the work has been done, and it is underway. It will connect in downtown Powder Springs to the Silver Comet Trail. Now, if you don't know how trails will improve upon your area, provide great quality of life, and also be an economic driver, I went and visited just a little bit ago and had an opportunity to see down there near the Ponce City Market. And you all know that the Beltline down there has just been a catalyst like no one's business. I remember years ago what the place looked like, and I was just absolutely amazed. Our city is so small, we don't expect any development of that size and or nature. But the mere fact that that is an economic development starter is something that we're excited about. I can tell you, I was in a meeting maybe just even 2 years ago, because this has been on the books and drawn out for a while. I ran into a couple there whom I didn't know, and they came up to me and said, "So you all are you're going to have a multi-use sidewalk trail from Austell to Powder Springs?" I said, "Yes." I was excited. They mentioned it to me, and I was happy to start talking about it. And this was a couple, a middle-aged couple. They were just there. I didn't know them. They said, "Yes, we know." They said, "We bought a piece of property on that corridor." She said, "We're just waiting." That's the kind of development, the economic driver that trails like that bring. This multi-use sidewalk trail is going to accommodate bicycles, walkers, joggers, the whole 9 yards. And just the mere fact that it's going to extend from downtown Austell into downtown Powder Springs and connect, because we did not have a hub for the Silver Comet, that just makes the trail lovers just giddy over it. And we've got development coming up around that. The development that Councilmember Williams also mentioned, the town hall development, when they spoke with Cobb County, as we talked about that particular project and annexed it in, part of what the county wanted to make sure that they were taking into consideration was that park that they're next to and the connectivity. And they said, "Okay, so you're going to do that, but we want to make sure that there is connectivity." So we're working together here in South Cobb with the county, with Powder Springs and Mableton, to make all of South Cobb great. So we're very, very, very excited about all of those things. I have some questions here, and I'll read these questions, and I will allow anyone on council that may want to weigh in. If not, we'll certainly look toward our subject matter experts that might have the answer to that. This top question here is, does the city have plans, does the city of Austell have plans including a splash pad in any park? I can answer that one. What is on the books for SPLOST? And mind you now, we need to be SPLOST, the 2028 SPLOST is going to be, and actually the SPLOST is coming up for renewal, and it will be on the referendum this fall. And it's the 2028 SPLOST. There have been so many things that have been taken care of, acquired, and done, infrastructure projects, fire trucks, police cars, you name it, all that we could have done out of the SPLOST over the last two SPLOST, we have and are still currently doing. So the SPLOST, this time, we had been trying to make sure that we got an amenity here in South Cobb, here in the city of Austell, that many of our residents want, and not just in Austell, but in South Cobb altogether, and that is a recreation center. That's been on the books for a while. It was a joint SPLOST project with us, and it initially started out as a joint SPLOST project with us, the city of Powder Springs, and Cobb County. The city of Powder Springs said, "Okay, city of Austell, you all go ahead. We have one. We'll allow you and the county to pursue this." So conversations have been going on. And understand, sometimes some projects take a while, guys. I learned that from being elected. Now, I've been elected since 2019. Some things, oh my God, I started on the sidewalk project on Austell Road shortly after being first elected. Oh, God, that seems so long ago, in 2013. And then I started pursuing that because some residents asked me that. It must have taken 8, 9 years. It takes some time. It was a lot of coordination. The roadway is not just ours, it's state, it's county, and all those people have to come together to make things happen. So understand that some of those things can take a while. But the actual trail was something that was on the books. We talked about it, the multi-use sidewalk trail. We talked about it. We had many conversations and how that was going to develop. And so part of that conversation, we were talking about the recreation center in this same area, on that same corridor. So thankfully, because the recreation center nowadays, the cost of that thing has gone tremendously high. But the recreation center has become, because of continual pursuit with the county to make this happen, has become our commissioner's top priority. It is on her SPLOS list. So there is going to be a recreation center in Austell, not just for Austell. Cobb County is going to run it and take care of it, which we're going to be part of that. But what we talked about as our part in maybe having some part in this recreation center was the possibility of adding to it to have a splash pad. So in answer to your question, that could very well be a part of that recreation center project that's coming along. Another question, is the leaf and limb fee going to be eliminated? At the moment, no. There was never a plan when the leaf and limb fee was instituted for it to be eliminated. The leaf and limb fee came because for all the years that Austell has been in existence, the leaf and limb service has just been given away. Now, while a lot of people thought that the leaf and limb fee was something that's going to go and come, I will not say that the leaf and limb fee can't be something that can be considered and will be looked at. But presently, because as I mentioned to you earlier, with our current budget and that where we are now, and we're clawing back from having the budget shortfall and being in our reserves, we don't have the ability right now to just give anything back. But again, like I said, we see the light at the end of the tunnel. So it could certainly be a conversation for discussion for this council. Who will hire the city manager? You'll be happy to know that this body and the other two council members, and I did make mention of that earlier, I'm sorry, please forgive me. We do have two council members, our two at-large council members in the person of Valerie Anderson and Melanie Elder were unable to be with us this evening. But all of them and myself, we were just recently in with a governance leader a couple of weeks ago in a planning session for the city manager, because this is a space that we're not familiar with. We've never had that in our time, and it was long ago, years that predates any of us here. They did have that form of government, but none of us knew. Even our staff has not had the pleasure of working in that space. So we took on and had a governance manager at a planning session to help us know what to expect, how to move forward, what will happen there. She was very, very good. She's a very well-trained, very certified. As a matter of fact, she does this. That's part of what she does for a living. So when it comes to hiring that, there are people that do that she did make recommendations to us for. We will not be doing that ourselves. Again, that's not our area of expertise. But there are those that do that, and we will make a selection for that to happen. Are they going to sell the threadmill? It's not on the market for sale. It was up for an RFP to see about developmental possibilities, because the threadmill in and of itself, there's a 200,000 plus square foot facility that the city received and got out of foreclosure many years ago. And it was initially, they tried to make a mall of it. That was not successful. So the city got it, and we now lease tenant space. And as a matter of fact, all of our other offices, all of our administrative offices for our departments are in there as well as mine. So what we wanted to do, though, we know that there are huge developmental possibilities with that property. So we did put it out a couple of years ago to get an RFP to see the developmental possibilities. We were looking at it as a possible small small rendition of the Ponce City Market type vibe. That would be something good for the city. We wanted to see people come, and we did have a couple of those that entertained the thought with that. We know, though, that we would have to, there are a lot of ground that needs to be covered with that, because I mentioned our city offices are in there. So I've mentioned to my staff, we're not going to be homeless on my watch. So we want to make sure that we're ready to be in place as well. Here's the question. What is the plan for Clay Road for Flint Hill Road, abandoned and closed businesses? Now, there are some businesses and there are some potential developments. There are some things that are happening there. Any one of you have any information you want to add to this?
I do have the information, but I will pass it along to Mr. Weaver.
Well, Mr. Weaver, everyone, just before he comes, so that in case you don't know him, Mr. Darrell Weaver is our Community Affairs Director, and again, he is one of the subject matter experts. Mr. Weaver, can you add any insight to the plan for the Clay Road, Flint Hill Road, where this question says there are abandoned and closed businesses?
Sure, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, everybody. Hope thanks for everybody for coming out. That corridor is an extremely valuable corridor in the city of Austell. It's a gateway coming into our city. It's an area that we identified that was ripe for redevelopment. We did have some businesses that were located there that were kind of falling on disrepair. And through our collaborative efforts to try to get them up to code with our fire department, with our code enforcement division, our police department, and even the Cobb County, Douglas County Health Department, some of those businesses had to be closed. It was imperative that they had to do that. Fast forward today, they're vacant because they're vacant for a reason, because that entire corridor it will see significant investment in the very near future. We have a couple of developments in the mix. One of them is a kind of a larger scale. Mayor and Council earlier last year passed a convenience store gas station ordinance, and that ordinance requires a larger store front space with additional retail. There's a developer that's interested in developing that entire corridor to add more retail, ice cream shops, insurance agencies, convenience store gas station with produce. Their goal is to be a part of the community, to leverage that location as proximity to the park that's around the corner, to make it a safe environment for the tennis participants that are over there, that they can access that convenience store. So we do see a significant amount of investment going on in that corridor. The reason why it's sitting there now is we had some hurdles. We talked about, what came up earlier was infrastructure, some of the infrastructure challenges that we have here in the city of Austell. While that is not our water sewer territory, that area is lacking sewer development. So those properties over there are all on septic, and you cannot put commercial on septic. So in order to move those projects forward, we first had to solve the problem of sewer connectivity. So we've been working with Cobb County behind the scenes. Our public works department has been doing a great job of trying to solve the unsolvable, and that is kind of what we do as staff. You know, we see these projects come out of the ground, but a lot of times we don't have an idea what it took to get there. In this particular case, it was going to take Cobb County signing off on it, because it's not our water or sewer territory. That's going to allow them to connect to Austell Water and Sewer. In order to do that, we had to connect through an existing neighborhood, which means the property owners have to provide easement agreements in order to do that. So there were a lot of things that had to go in place to get us to where we are right now. But we are excited that there is significant interest in that corner. Development is going to happen, and at the end of the day, it's going to be a great new investment for that corridor. Thank you.
Mr. Weaver, we may need your answer to this question. The status of the laundromat on BMH.
Yeah, that laundromat, I think it was hit by a tree, so it was held up doing insurance claims for a while. They did have to submit plans to try to get that property of the code, specifically on the electrical side as well. But as of to date, everything has been cleared. They're cleared to go. We're just waiting on them to continue to move forward. So it is still in the works. Thank you.
Thank you. As you can tell, Mr. Weaver is pretty much informed about most of the properties that are in and around our city, because he not only is our community affairs director, he heads up our economic development as well. Another question about the thread mill, I think we covered. There was kind of a somewhat of a two-part, but it asked about it being on the market. No, it's not. But then it went on to say about, so we would have to pay for new roof or elevators. Those things have been taken care of. Actually, as I mentioned, the luxury of having the SPLOST has been absolutely phenomenal in taking care of infrastructure things and things that we otherwise may not be. The SPLOST for us, and not just us, most every other city kind of serves as our capital improvement plan, because our budget is so small. Our city size is small. Our budget size is small. We just don't have the funds for capital improvement. If it were not for SPLOST, there are a lot of infrastructure projects that we would have a struggle. I mentioned earlier and showed you all the slide about debt-free. If it were not for the SPLOST, I don't know that would be the case, because we would have to borrow, because we cannot let, environmental hazards as it relates to sewer lines breaking and that type of thing go on. The EPD definitely stays on top of that, and we wouldn't want anything like that to happen either. So yeah, the SPLOST was able to help take care of those two things, roof and elevators. So we're thankful for that, and some other things that have been that have happened there with developing and redeveloping some spaces there. Would blighted properties downtown be able to be purchased or repurposed for city business? Now, we do have, we've been running down the blighted properties. There's been some pursuit in that. There is a blight tax that we have. We found that can be utilized. Then we realized that there may have been another way to approach it. It is cumbersome. Let me just let you all know that. The blighted properties, property ownership is king. You own a piece of property, you own a piece of property. I got a couple of realtors up here. They can surely attest to that. Property ownership is king. And when an example of that is the 2009 flood. Some of you may have lived in some areas that the flood left some abandoned properties. And we were stuck because, we suffered the worst here in Austell with the 2009 flood. And we just had property sitting. When we began to hear from the citizens, okay, what are you going to do about this? And so we started trying to determine the direction within which to move. And I learned a lesson. I didn't know anything of how that would have been managed. But what we did have to finally do was start running down the property owners. And like I said, property ownership is king. And once you found a property, maybe the property changes hands. The property owner might have had it in Florida. The next thing you know, it was an investor now in California. Now they're in Chicago. The next thing you know, they're in New York. We ran them down. Now, we did eventually get somewhere where we were able to take some properties down. But it took a while. So that blighted issue is cumbersome. It's a lot. We see it. We know it. There are some things in the works behind that. But yeah, it is. It's not. Just because you see it and you don't think we're not doing anything about it. We are, but it is cumbersome. It is a tough road to hoe.
If I can chime in on that, please know that code enforcement, they are out there. They are citing these business and homeowners. Again, I took a ride yesterday, and they pointed out a number of homes. There also is a report of businesses and homes. So they are out there, and we have two code enforcement staff members that are diligently taking care of this by notifying the business owners and taking the proper procedure and protocol, because you can't, as you said, as a business owner, a homeowner, no one can just come and take your property from you. There definitely are protocols and procedures in doing so, but please know that code enforcement, they are out there, and they are making business and property owners aware that they need to make some changes.
And I wanted to add, one of the things that we had looked at doing is revitalizing our Downtown Development Authority, because the Downtown Development Authority, which the mayor had mentioned recently at the Cobb Chamber event, South Cobb Council, it has authority that the city does not have. So they can purchase some of the blighted properties, and they can provide incentives for developers and businesses to come into the downtown that, you probably don't want your city to be willing and dealing as much. But the Downtown Development Authority has that ability, and that's something that we're actively working towards getting reestablished.
Thank you both. As you can tell, I mentioned I had a couple of realtors here. They're right here, thank God. But we do, yes, and we are in the process of reigniting our Downtown Development Authority. Downtown Development Authorities have been just a jewel in other municipalities. Ours was on the books, but it was stagnant, and so we needed to do something, and it's in the process now of coming back. And as Councilmember Cafe said, they have a lot more leverage than we as the city have as it pertains to properties with buying and or selling. If a city manager, would city manager be required to live in Austell? That we have not determined. As I mentioned to you, there is a company that will be selected in order to take us through that recruitment process. Once we get there, then we will determine and realize and work through the parameters of that. Can unused cruisers be sold? Well, you know what, actually, that question has come up several times, and it does appear that they are not going to be used, but they are. As a matter of fact, I'm happy to say that we are up to just about field on patrol. As my deputy chief is motioning to me, I think we're just 2 away. So those cruisers will definitely, you'll see being used. We're very excited that, and understand that process is tough, and that process that I'm speaking of is hiring anyone that works in a local government, because we're all fishing from the same pond, and it's just tough to hire. We're the smallest city with the smallest budget. It takes us a little bit more to get someone. So all of the individuals that you see here, all of our public safety individuals and every other department, they need to be commended and congratulated because they are committed, and we greatly appreciate them. We talked about the leap and limb piece. So that wraps up our questions for now. If you have any others, please don't hesitate to speak with us. We are 3 minutes away from our time, and I want to, like I said, I want to be a good neighbor. I want to be invited back, Pastor. Pastor, I want to be invited back. So we want to be invited back, and so we want to do the right thing. So again, we thank you all. We are more than excited about all of the things that you heard. We're definitely considering how we move the city forward as we consider investing in our infrastructure, our parks and rec. We want to definitely give honor to our public safety. As I mentioned, police and fire keep us safe. I always say, when we're running out of something that's blowing up, they're running into it. So, I mean, it's a calling. It's not something that anybody wants to do. So looking ahead, We will continue investing in downtown revitalization, infrastructure improvements, economic development, parks and recreation, and public safety excellence. Because our goal is not simply growth, as Councilmember Cafe mentioned. Our goal is growth that strengthens the fabric of our community. Austell is not just growing, Austell is becoming the kind of city people are proud to call home. Businesses are proud to invest in, and families are proud to build their future in. Austell is rediscovering who we are. We are reimagining what is possible. And together with partners like all of you, we are building a future that honors our past while embracing tomorrow. Thank you all for coming out tonight. And again, thank you, Pastor Lewis and Beacon of Light Church.
We're turning over every stone, hoping to find salvation in a world that's left us cold. Can we get back to the altar, back to the arms of our first love? There's only one way to the Father, and He's calling out to us. To the captive it looks like freedom, to the orphan it feels like home. To the skeptic it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made, like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the cure for our condition. It's the good news for us all. It's greater than religion. It's the power of the cross. So can we get back to the altar, back to the arms of our first love? There's only one way to the Father, and He's calling out to us. To the captive it looks like freedom, to the orphan it feels like home. To the skeptic it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made, like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way.
The amazing news of the gospel is not that we can receive Jesus into our lives, but that He's already received us into His.
In my own life it means forgiveness when I know I deserve the fall. It called me out of my darkness and carried me to the cross. In a moment my eyes were open, in that moment my heart was changed. Like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel. Oh, to the captive it looks like freedom, to the orphan it feels like home. Yeah, to the skeptic it gospel that makes a way. And he's calling out to us. To the captive it looks like freedom. To the orphan it feels like home. To the skeptic it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made, like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the cure for our condition. It's the good news for us all. It's greater than religion. It's the power of the cross. So can we get back to the altar, back to the arms of our first love? There's only one way to the Father, and he's calling out to us. To the captive it looks like freedom. To the orphan it feels like home. To the skeptic it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made, like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way.
The amazing news of the gospel is not that we can receive Jesus into our lives, but that he's already received us into his.
In my own life it means forgiveness when I know I deserve the fall. It called me out of my darkness and carried me to the cross. In a moment my eyes were open. In that moment my heart was changed. Like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel. Oh, to the captive it looks like freedom. To the orphan it feels like home. Yeah, to the skeptic it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made, like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. 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 And he's calling out to us. To the captive it looks like freedom. To the orphan it feels like home. To the skeptic it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made, like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the cure for our condition. It's the good news for us all. It's greater than religion. It's the power of the cross. So can we get back to the altar, back to the arms of our first love? There's only one way to the Father, and he's calling out to us. To the captive it looks like freedom. To the orphan it feels like home. To the skeptic it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made, like a blind
news of the gospel is not that we can receive Jesus into our lives, but that he's already received us into his.
In my own life, it means forgiveness when I know I deserve the fall. It called me out of my darkness and carried me to the cross. In a moment, my eyes were open. In that moment, my heart was changed. Like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel. Oh, to the captive, it looks like freedom. To the orphan, it feels like home. Yeah, to the skeptic, it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made. Like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. 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 And he's calling out to us. To the captive, it looks like freedom. To the orphan, it feels like home. To the skeptic, it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made. Like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the cure for our condition. It's the good news for us all. It's greater than religion. It's the power of the cross. So can we get back to the altar, back to the arms of our first love? There's only one way to the Father, and he's calling out to us. To the captive, it looks like freedom. To the orphan, it feels like home. To the skeptic, it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made. Like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way.
The amazing news of the gospel is not that we can receive Jesus into our lives, but that he's already received us into his.
In my own life, it means forgiveness when I know I deserve the fall. It called me out of my darkness and carried me to the cross. In a moment, my eyes were open. In that moment, my heart was changed. Like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel. Oh, to the captive, it looks like freedom. To the orphan, it feels like home. Yeah, to the skeptic, it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made. Like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. 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 And he's calling out to us. To the captive, it looks like freedom. To the orphan, makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the cure for our condition. It's the good news for us all. It's greater than religion. It's the power of the cross. So can we get back to the altar, back to the arms of our first love? There's only one way to the Father, and He's calling out to us. To the captive it looks like freedom, to the orphan it feels like home, to the skeptic it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made, like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way.
The amazing news of the gospel is not that we can receive Jesus into our lives, but that He's already received us into His.
In my own life it means forgiveness when I know I deserve the fall. It called me out of my darkness and carried me to the cross. In a moment my eyes were open. In that moment my heart was changed, like a blinding light in the dead of night. It's the gospel. Oh, to the captive it looks like freedom, to the orphan it feels like home. Yeah, to the skeptic it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made, like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. 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 And He's calling out to us. To the captive it looks like freedom, to the orphan it feels like home, to the skeptic it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made, like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the cure for our condition. It's the good news for us all. It's greater than religion. It's the power of the cross. So can we get back to the altar, back to the arms of our first love? There's only one way to the Father, and He's calling out to us. To the captive it looks like freedom, to the orphan it feels like home, to the skeptic it might sound crazy to believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made, like a blinding light in the dead of night, it's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way.
The amazing news of the gospel is not that we can receive Jesus into our lives, but that he's already received us into his.
In my own life, it means forgiveness when I know I deserve the fall. It called me out of my darkness and carried me to the cross. In a moment, my eyes were open. In that moment, my heart was changed. Like a blinding light in the dead of night. It's the gospel. Oh, to the captive, it looks like freedom. To the orphan, it feels like home. Yeah, to the skeptic, it might sound crazy. To believe in a God who loves. In a world where our hearts are breaking and we're lost in the mess we've made. Like a blinding light in the dead of night. It's the gospel that makes a way. It's the gospel that makes a way.